right, Emily. Well, thank you so much for hopping on with me this morning. We are so excited. The countdown is on. It is gonna be here so fast. And I've started every conversation so far, and I might as well just keep going. How did you learn about the program, and what sort of sparked your interest in joining it in the first place?
I heard about the program from the my counselor, Miss Lazensky. She sent out an email to my school introducing the program to us as a possible idea. Also, last year on the school Instagram page, I saw someone that I knew, Olivia Follis. She got the state title last year, and I thought, oh, this sounds pretty fun. Like I'll try it out.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how everybody's been finding out. It's either through their school or through word of mouth from somebody they know, or maybe their mom did it. So there's different stories for everybody and how they've sort of come to this spot. But it is so exciting. So congratulations. What has this newfound title meant to you?
Just being titled Distinguished Young Woman of Nevada sounds like such a big, huge title, but really, um, what it means to me is that I'm I worked hard for this title, even though because my program was really, really, really small. There was only three people competing against it, so it was just me and two other girls. And I thought we each pretty much had the title. I thought all three of us were the Distinguished Young Woman of Nevada, but other than that, because it wasn't such a big competition, it wasn't such a big deal at my state or at my school. So it's hard to think of what it really means to me since I watch other interviews and it seemed like for other states it was a much bigger deal and it was much more large scale versus compared to mine, it was just competing against two other really, really great women.
Yeah, and 2 points of note there. So because the program is so small, that just makes us want to make it even bigger and better. And we want more girls to be involved. We want more volunteers to get involved so that we can have these programs and they can be successful. So 3 people, that's nothing. We need more. We want more. We want to give out more scholarships. And the only way we can do that is if we get more participation and
Hmm.
if we get more sponsors. And of course, more volunteers to make those programs even happen at the end of the day. So, on the other note, what did you do to prepare for your program?
I'm gonna be so honest. Um, my talent I already had. Like I've been practicing this song because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. So I've known it for a year. I just for the entire week, I just every hour or so I would practice the song just to relieve stress mainly. For the fitness, I just kind of learned that the night before with my friends because I didn't really have that much time throughout the week or much at all to learn the fitness routine, so I learned it the night before, and I was so impressed that I even remembered it the next morning. And the opening number, I also learned the night before with my friends. So it was like for me, this entire competition was very lighthearted because I knew not a lot of there wasn't a lot of competitors, and I knew that it was happening at my school, which made me feel much more comfortable about it. It was very lighthearted. It was just like, oh, I have to study for another test tomorrow.
Yeah, that's I mean everybody has their own methods, and if you can do it the night before and succeed, imagine what you're going to be able to do when you come to nationals and you have a week and a half to learn the fitness routine and the opening number and everything else that's involved because it's a very busy couple of weeks. You're going to have a lot on your plate, but it's also very lighthearted and so fun. And you're going to meet a girl from every state. And there's just so much good that comes out of this. And that's the message that we really want to instill in so many people, and especially the ones who don't know about the program, because some of these programs are very small, like 3 or 5 or even 10, and there's probably 20 in another one. So it just varies. And I think that's just something that we want to make sure we're getting out there. We want to get that across to people that it is lighthearted, it is fun. But at the end of the day, even though it's lighthearted and fun, there's still scholarship money to be won. And you can actually go to college with a lot less of a load on your back financially because of this program. And that's something that we're so proud of. So you didn't have to practice much, which is that's a skill in itself. So kudos to you on that. I wish that could have been me. But you have clearly done so much of the other things with your studies and practicing your talent and being who you are as a person. Those don't go unnoticed just because the other two things were practiced the night before. You've built up this repertoire of who you are as a person, and it's now the Distinguished Young Woman of Nevada. And I think despite practicing the night before on those things, you've shown who you are. You are courageous by doing it. A lot of girls are even too scared to do it in the first place. So to those girls or to your school or to your towns and cities in Nevada, what do you say to people to encourage them to either join the program or maybe create a program in in their city?
I mean, the biggest thing in my mind, because with this program, was like it doesn't hurt to try. Like, might as well try. We got $500 for if we won the title in the first place. So that was kind of what I was striving for. I wanted the opportunity to get any scholarship money, but like the entire time while I was practicing the fitness, while I was practicing the opening number, when I was applying, I just kept thinking to myself, it really doesn't hurt to try. Um, it was also an amazing experience with me. Even with such a small program, I became so close-knitted with the two other girls, and everything was just, it was like I've never done anything close to what the Distinguished Young Woman program is, or the misconception of a pageant. I've never done a pageant in my life, and I've never thought that I would. So this was like a whole new experience for me. And I think experiences are life's greatest teachers. So the ability to even get this experience in the first place is so amazing. And it taught me so much, such as better time management skills. And I think it really wouldn't hurt to try. And it's great for every girl to get this opportunity, since even for someone like me who wouldn't everyone never expected me to do something like this. My friends didn't think I would, but it really was one of the best experiences I've had, especially teaching me different skills, such as the interview taught me so many skills, and public speaking and time management.
Yes, you said it. There are so many different skills that you can learn and or get better at. And again, like you said, these these things are the best ways to learn. And having the ability to go through it with somebody else, it's priceless. And it's so fun because you met those two girls and you went through it with them, but now you're going to meet 49 others, and it's going to be even greater. And yeah, like you said, the misconception of a pageant, I think that's why we don't really call ourselves a pageant, is because it's so much more and greater than that. Nobody gets crowned. There's no sash. It's really and solely based on your scholastics and who you are as a person on the inside. And you're going through it with so many other girls who are also just as skilled and talented and smart as you are. And I think that's why it's so much greater than just a pageant. You know what I'm saying? So very cool that you have such a great takeaway from it, even though it was a condensed version. So what we're doing this year, it's sort of our theme. It's a ripple effect. And if you've seen a ripple in a lake, you throw a rock and it ripples out. That imagery is what we're sort of building on for the finals. And it just really means like one small gesture, one small act, and how doing such a small thing can make such a greater difference and such a big impact in the grand scheme of things. So just by simply having this interview and you showing it to another girl who may be apprehensive about joining the program, but because she saw you do this and somebody who they did not think would do it at all does it, wins it, that small thing makes such a big difference because now somebody else wants to do it or 10 other people want to do it now. And now the Nevada program is even bigger. Um, and then aside from the participants, but the sponsorship. So if we got more sponsors, having um, just one small donation adds up in such a great way that we're able to give these sponsorship and scholarship dollars to our participants. And how just that one small act and from a sponsor makes such a big difference in a girl's life. And now they can go to college, whereas they may not have been able to otherwise. And then, of course, on the volunteer side, um, having a volunteer at one program, and that's the only reason that program was even able to go on or survive. And so we're asking our participants, what advice or um, ways do you think we can incorporate this conversation and make it more well known for our participant sponsors and volunteers so that they are excited and they get encouraged to do the program so that we can make that ripple effect even bigger? Do you have any tips, tricks, advice that you think or words of encouragement for the people who are considering donating, becoming a part of the program?
I think just as someone who had the experience of being in the program itself and maybe on like the smaller side of this, like I get the smaller perspective. It's even though like it was much smaller, it did create such like a big ripple effect of definitely the volunteers that helped throughout the program and the scholarship money that was given. It was even though it was something like that seemed materialistic, it really meant a lot for me because it showed me like, oh wow, like I could do this. Like I never thought that I could do this, but it just opened a lot of new doors for me. And it is the biggest thing that it did for me was always try everything. I've always been like a little bit closed-minded and hesitant to do things that step beyond my comfort zone. But the program in general, even if it was small, it made me realize that I should always try. Like I should step out of my comfort zone, try and do things, and you never know where life can take you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great message to take away for anybody of any age. Um, because we're all scared at some point. We're all apprehensive about doing something new, and it can be scary. It can be challenging. But I've said this in many of the conversations that I've had with the girls that you can do hard things, and this is just proof of that. It may some people may see the fitness as a challenge, whereas others are flexing their muscles and they're like, this was a no big deal for me. And then others are struggling to do that push up, So there's everybody has their skills and their talents, and this is one way that we're able to show them off and on such a big scale and for such a good reason, getting those scholarship dollars so that we can continue that higher education. So speaking of higher education, we have college on the horizon. We think national finals is going to be here soon. College is going to be here soon too for you. So, what are your hopes and dreams? Do you have a major in mind or a college of choice in mind, or are we still on the fence about all of that?
I'm committed to Johns Hopkins,
Okay.
so I'm so excited for that. I also got into their direct matriculation program,
What
which
is that?
I think allows me to earn my master's degree like sometime during my undergrad
Very
years.
cool.
So I'm gonna major in public health with the DMP program. Um, but really, I love biology. I love anything STEM. I love physics. It's one of my biggest passions. I actually have a science fair coming up with UNLV where I'm presenting my research that was kind of chemistry, kind of biology.
Go
Um,
girl.
I was in a like a Lumiere program where I did a research project that was based off of physics. So with a PhD student, so that was pretty cool.
Very cool.
I love research, so one of the most exciting things I'm looking forward to is doing a larger scale research since my independent research that I did like in the past year at my school, it was so like we don't have that much stuff. We have a lot of like scientific materials, but no like scanning electron microscopes or anything cool like that. So I'm so excited to work in a bigger lab, working with way more people on like a project. But I'm most excited for research.
Yeah, that sounds incredible. I am not good at that. That's why I'm in a communications field. But very, very cool that you are. I think STEM is it's gaining so much traction now, for women and teens, which is so very cool because we need that. We need more women in these fields. So congratulations on that. That's so, so exciting. Um, well, again, national finals are going to be here in June. Have you ever been to Mobile?
Nope.
Okay, so this is going to be new for you. It's new for everybody, I think. I think maybe one or two of the girls have been here before, and um, one of them is from Alabama, from Mobile. So it's going to be so exciting. We have an oyster eating contest. You get to go check out the beach. There's, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much history and just fun to come. So we're so excited to meet you. We can't wait for everybody to get here. If you don't have any questions or concerns, or if you do, just shoot me an email. You have my contact now, so I can help with that. And I can do whatever I can to help in that regard. Otherwise, we will see you in June, and we are so excited.
Thank you.